Guys, I'm reporting to you with a major news from Jerusalem. What you are seeing now are fragments of a missile that fell down inside the walls of Jerusalem. Here you can see a first-hand account which shows you the destruction done by this projectile. This is the first time we're seeing a missile falling down next to the most holy place on earth. It is very, very close. Here is a good shot showing you how close it was. We're talking meters from the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Let me show you on a map so that you can understand the distance of how close this was. This is the place of the impact, and here you can see the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Temple Mount, and the Dome of the Rock. This is like less than half a kilometer, 1400 feet. And here you can see on a 3D model where this impact happened. So you can see the Temple Mount, and in a moment, here you go, you can see a projectile and you will see where exactly it hit. So again, it hit right here. And as you saw, the damage was pretty substantial. But imagine if the Iron Dome would not shoot down a rocket that was actually targeting the old city of Jerusalem. The rocket was shot down by the defense system, but even after being shot down, those rockets are huge, and the fragments of such a rocket can still cause a lot of damage. Here you can see a rocket that has been already shot down. This is a rocket that was shot from Iran, and this is just a fragment, and look how huge it is. Here's another picture where you can see again how big it is. Again, this is just a fragment of a rocket. This one just fell in the desert. But if it falls somewhere else, it is very, very dangerous. But going back to the rocket that hit today the old city of Jerusalem, this is not the first time it happened. A few days earlier, an actual rocket fragments fell on the Temple Mount. Now, that was a much smaller fragment, but the very fact that it fell on the Temple Mount, it tells you that this is some dangerous stuff we are facing. And the rockets do not discriminate anybody. Here's another picture showing you a rocket fragment falling on the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in the old city of Jerusalem. And just again to give you an understanding of the size of those rockets, this is a small piece coming from that rocket, just a very small part. But look how big it is, this small piece of a rocket next to real humans. It is giant. So once again, on this 3D model, you can see where the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is. This is the one with the blue domes on this 3D model. And this is one of the most important sites for Christians, for Catholics, for Orthodox Christians, for Coptic Christians, for many, many, many people around the world. Because it's one of the possible locations of the crucifixion and burial of Jesus. So this really shows you how crazy Iran is, hitting the most holy sites in the world. I mean, the place where the rocket hit today, I walk this path so many times. This is actually showing you the exact place where the rocket hit today. This is a very peaceful path, a very beautiful path, which can lead you either if you go up to Mount Zion, or if you go down, it would lead you to the Western Wall Plaza. And just look at this arch over here. This is a place that was destroyed today. Just look at this video and you will recognize it. You see, this is the path, again, a huge hole and this arch. This is what was destroyed today. And it is so sad because it's such a beautiful path. The arch I was showing you, it's actually part of the Sephardic Education Center. The Sephardic Jews are, of course, Jews that come mainly from Spain and Portugal. And guys, the fact that this missile hit just before Shabbat, it hit in the place where you can actually see the Mount of Olives. That's the mountain in front of us right now. And it hit, as I said, just 1,400 feet from the Temple Mount. This really shows you that Iran doesn't care about anything right now. They are totally berserk. They don't care if it's Muslim, if it's Jewish, if it's Christian. They will just attack with a blindfold. They are a huge threat right now. And it's quite extraordinary, guys, that just yesterday I showed you the fake videos of the destruction of the Dome of the Rock. And as you saw today, it's not just a wild fantasy, but it's actually possible. It can happen. So guys, we are living in extraordinary times. This conflict is still bringing us new surprises every day. I mean, who would have thought that a Muslim country may actually not care about destroying the third most important site to their religion? All the talk about the importance of the Temple Mount, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Dome of the Rock, when Hamas said this is what we are fighting for, and Hamas, of course, is a tool of Iran, now you see that they perhaps were just words. They just want to survive. They don't care about anything. And of course, for the Jewish people, this is the most holy place. This is where the temples stood. It's not the third most important site. It's actually the first most important site for the Jewish people. So guys, this was not a good beginning to the Shabbat. But I am thankful that more damage was not done. This could have ended tragically, but praise be God, it didn't. I think we are again reminded to pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Why should we pray for the peace of Jerusalem? Well, because if there will be peace in Jerusalem, according to the Bible, there will be peace in the whole earth. And we definitely need that today. I leave you with the rest of this walk. It actually was recorded on Shabbat as today. So I hope you will enjoy it. I wish you all the best. Shalom.
We're going down now towards the dam gate. So here again you can see the Mount of Olives and below the traffic jam, because it's this time of the day where everybody finishes their work. And this is a very busy road at this time. You can see the line of the walls and already a little bit of the Temple Mount sticking out. So in a moment we'll be able to see the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock.
I was able to do a ton of learning. It really is. You have nowhere to go.
Those stones here are very, very slippery. If you are not careful, you can fall. So a lot of people walk on them, and it makes their surface very slippery. Some more children. Shalom. So you can already see very clearly the southern part of the Temple Mount. Below us, over there, is the city of David. So right there where you see like a building with glass, this is already the territory of the city of David, and it goes down, and in between this Arab neighborhood and the city of David is the Kidron Valley, which goes up to the Mount of next to the Mount of Olives, and then eventually to the Dead Sea. And now you can clearly see what is appearing. This is the dome of the rock, the gold cupola, the most holy place for the Jewish people. Unfortunately, today occupied by the Muslim religion. So, again, a nice view on the southern excavations. This is the south side of the Temple Mount. Below, again, is the city of David. This is the most ancient part of Jerusalem, where the Gihon Spring is, where David built his tower. It was much lower than the Mount, Temple Mount, and the Temple Mount is lower than the Olive Mountain, Mount of Olives. But the reason why David built his city here is because of water, of the Gihon Spring. But water to the Temple Mount was actually brought from way, way, way to the east, from a place next to Hebron, where there was a spring. That water was transported to huge pools called Solomon pools, and from there it was again taken to the Temple Mount through a very long aqueduct. And I have a video that I will share with you exactly how this water and what direction it traveled to the Temple Mount. And the water was just used for the Temple Mount. So they transported water from so far away just to have water for the temple worship. Once again, we have to be careful walking on those steps that are steep and slippery. So you have to walk really slowly if you don't want to get hurt, because they're not even. So there are three factors: they're steep, they are slippery, and not even. So another view I showed you this view many times. It's a beautiful view. It's nice to return to it. But this is special because it's during war in Israel. So a very different feeling because it's just mainly Jewish people. You may see a tourist here and there, but I haven't seen one today so far. So it's very different. Jerusalem these days, without tourists, without the nations, just Jewish people, of course Arab people, but certainly a different feel. And this is the best time to come here. It's not warm, the sun is now setting down, so it's a nice reflection on this side of Jerusalem, on the Mount of Olives, on the Temple Mount, the western side of the Temple Mount. So you see that thing sticking out of the western wall. This is already the western wall, you know. This side, it's called the western wall because it's on the west side of the Temple Mount. So behind we have east, so that would be the eastern side where the Golden Gate is located, where you have the Mount of Olives, of course. This is the south, which led to, if you go that direction, you would end up in the city of David, and north would be this side. So I didn't finish. That thing sticking out from the western wall, this is the Robinson's Arch, a remains of an arch that functioned here during Herod's time. It was an important entrance to the Temple Mount from this side. Of course, the main life also in the 1st century was here on the western hill. If we would say it, this would be the Temple Mount, the eastern hill. We are on the western hill, and that's the most eastern hill, so Mount of Olives. So life in the times of the 1st century happened here. This is when Herod extended this. Let me just wait a moment because it's gonna get really loud here because of the ambulance. Magan David. Magan David, it's this Star of David. So this is in Israel you don't have crosses, you have a Star of David on the ambulances, on the vehicles that help people. So as I was saying, main life in the 1st century happened here on the western hill, and a lot of the entrances to the temple were from this side, the western side. So now, see, it's a difficult situation because there's nowhere those cars can go. They're stuck, and Magan David wants to get out, but nobody can do anything. You can just cross here. So this is the exit. From the western wall, but we will not exit. We will get in the western wall area. So once again, a nice view on the western wall. You see the huge stones over there. That's from Roman times, when Romans destroyed the second temple. They started throwing down the stones from the top of the temple mount, the temple complex. This is an archaeological park. You have remains of many different historical periods, starting from the 1st century to even there are some that are dating back to Solomon's time, if you don't believe it. But this is also the area where Solomon extended the life of Jerusalem from the city of David, which was below, to the Temple Mount. But you have remains mainly from Second Temple period, then all the other periods, so Roman, Byzantine, and eventually, you know, you have Mamluks, so Muslim already, and other Arab nations that were here before. So it's really a mosaic of history. It's a good museum also, but it's best to visit with a tour guide, because if you are not with a tour guide, you may not know what you are looking at. So you see, it already gets pretty busy here. Many Jewish people are going to pray to the prayers, evening prayers, and we will enter here through a security gate, and we'll end up there in this iconic place, which is the wall where the Jewish people pray. It's not only, you know, a place very close to where the temple stood, so where the Dome of the Rock is standing now, but also it's an active synagogue that we will also go into today. Okay guys, so we are now entering a place of prayer, so I'll try to be right here. Actually, you can have water here. I'll have some water, so excuse me. While I do that, you can look at the people.
No, I'm not pressing it harder.
So, see a lot of soldiers, a lot of security here. So, in a way, this is a giant synagogue, this place. Now, when the Jewish people came here and they regained the control of Jerusalem after thousands of years, after 2,000 years, when again the Jewish people could access the old city, the Temple Mount, they had a very limited amount of space next to the Western Wall. Our historical pictures showing you exactly how much space they had, and it was very little. So when Israel started controlling this place, they made much more space, and now it's much bigger. So it's very busy now here because it's the evening prayer. So over here you have a section for the women, and this is traditional, you know, washing of the hands, religious. There is a certain way you do it. You will see it in a moment. First you wash one hand, and then you wash another hand. So this is the traditional way you do it. And there are different traditions, of course. Sometimes it's one time, sometimes it's 3 times you wash one hand. So many different ways in which you do it. So of course, we're talking about the different stones here that you can see. This is the western wall again. So at the bottom you have the stones from Herod time, a little bit above it's later period, and then at the very top, that's already from Muslim periods. So if you go up, the stones get smaller and smaller. So it was much more sophisticated in the old days, where you basically transported huge stones. They weighed tons, you know, and there's even a beautiful finish of the stone, very typical for Herod stones. There's like a boss on the stones, and each stone has a very, if you want to know which stone belongs to Herod and what stone is not, it's best to look at the boss, which is at the bottom of the stone, around the stone, basically like a finish. And people also put prayers in between the stones. You pray and you leave a particular prayer to God. People sometimes ask, what do they do with all those papers? Because you can imagine that, especially in the times where you had a lot of tourists, there would be a lot of those papers. So of course at a certain point they take out the papers and they collect them. They do not throw them out, they do not burn them, because somebody may write a prayer with the name of God, for example, and you cannot then throw it out, you cannot burn it, because that would be insulting. What is done with those papers? They are actually buried on the Mount of Olives, which is behind us. So that is what happens with the papers, the pieces of papers where you have